So I've been laying under here for a few minutes, contemplating my life choices, and I think I have a plan. The brakes on Stinkbug, my 1950 Chevrolet, have been a fight every step of the way, but we are not going to stop until we can stop. This is part two, and hopefully the final part of the Great Brake Battle. All right, so we know for sure this line is bad because it sprays fluid out of here when you step on the pedal. So first things first, we're going to try to get that off, hopefully without breaking the fittings, but I do have new line in some fittings. Okay, we're going to start here with the line that comes out of the booster and try to get that all the way off so we can bend one up in the shop. It looks terribly rusty. Hopefully it comes apart. All right, so I've returned with the rusty brake line starter kit. We'll start a little heat. Maybe try to break some of this rust up. And we'll hit it with a little bit of oil. Comes free. Oh, just rounding her off here. That's all. I don't really care about ruining the fitting or the line. I just want to try to get it off. Oh, it did. I think it's breaking off, but that's okay. It's already got a hole in it. It is fine. There it goes. The rest of the line. Okay. We've got one. So that line, I don't know if you can see it, is this line here. Under the trans, up to that block, which looks like it's going to be an absolute nightmare. Should we try it just to give her a little squirt? We need all the help we can get. Oh, there goes the end of the line. Twist her right off. Coming out? Oh yeah, buddy. All right, as soon as I break this bolt off, I don't know if it's turning off or turning in. Okay, this here is what we're after. We got to go make one of these. So what we need to do is make a new line. Got this, so this end in my left arm, you're right. It's out of the booster. I mean, I don't think these bends mean much. They're pretty straight. This is under the trans, up, and then this bend, the 90-90 compound bend, is going to be pretty important because that's what goes to the T. We got some new line here. I think we're going to stretch a bit out, and we're going to kind of make this shape, then we'll cut it and flare the ends and see how it goes. It doesn't need to be exact. I just want to get a little bit of like a rough estimate on length. I think we're going to cut it right about there and it'll be fine. And now we're going to work on our bends. I do have a tubing bender, but a lot of times you can do most of this by hand without too much trouble. So I think what we're going to do is flare one end, take it back out there and kind of massage it into place. And then mark it, bring it back in here and flare the other end. All right, so we got our fitting and flare on one side. We're going to walk this back out, put this end into the booster, and see if we can't wiggle this line around and make it make sense before we flare the other side. Okay, so here we are back under here. We're going to fish this up and through and screw it in just a bit, maybe all the way. Now, I haven't built a lot of brake lines, so I'm not that good at the old eyeball bend here, bend there technique. So I like to leave it kind of loose in there and then make it up as I go. I'm going to put an exhaust in this thing, so I want a little bit of a tweak there. And then I'd like to follow this channel, something like that. Okay, and then over here might be the tricky part because I basically need to bend. I guess I could straighten that one out a bit. My fitting's there, so I need to bend basically another 90 right there, and this tube has started to kink here. I got it fixed a little bit. Really like to save it. Let me grab my Sharpie. Now you have to remember that we're not shooting for factory routing. We are just trying to get A to B. Yeah, I don't like this up here at all, but it's kind of just what we got for right now. I got some fluid in the reservoir. I'm gonna pump it. You guys watch for leaks. Oh, well, it didn't leak up here, but I'm pretty sure we got one right there. I hear it hissing at me. Hey guys, I just wanted to jump in real quick and explain a few things about this video. First one, you may notice it's a little bit out of order. That is because I was able to schedule the appointment for the inspection when I already had this halfway shot. So you're not going to see me put wheel cylinders in this one or anything like that, but you will have seen them installed in the last video. The second thing is this one's going to end rather abruptly, and there's a good reason for that. And that is because after the inspection, I got sick. You can probably tell, pretty nasally. Instead of forcing you guys to listen to me for the next 40 minutes, I decided to spare you and go ahead and finish the brakes off camera. You'll have to trust me. It's done. They work. But basically, this one is going to end kind of without an ending. I just wanted to jump in and let you know why. So thank you for making it this far. Please subscribe. We're at 75, so 25 away from 100. It'd be great to get there. I appreciate you guys. Next time we're going to do something more fun than brakes. I promise. I guess we'll work on getting that one apart now. All right, so our next leak is in this line here because I see drippage. So we're going to ignore the rubber hose for now and attempt to get this free, and then it tees into that same block that we were just working on up front. So we'll do the classics. Come on, buddy. Oh, it's turning everything. Less than ideal. Although I am going to need to probably take that off at some point. Well, I think it just broke. This is terrible. Oh my God. Okay, listen. I've got rubber lines coming. If I can disconnect that there, I'll take the whole SOB. It's rounding off. Now it's got my wrench, and I won't give it back. New plan. Ow. New plan. That needed to be done anyway. I know what I was going for. All right. Well, this is the junction we just put our new line into. This is the line going back that we got to try to get off. And this one is far less cuttable. It's also a bigger fitting. It looks like it's a 1/2 inch because it feeds the rear. Oh God. That was scary easy. One or the other, I guess. Ready to fall out? Or so tight you have no hope. Okay. Neat. Gonna try to snakel. Oh, that line. That's what I thought. I thought this line, the one that came out easy, didn't look that bad, and it didn't. And look what we have here. Hold on. Let me get around the fuel pump. See that? Someone unioned it together. So the front rusted out. They just cut and flared it probably in place. and used the factory stuff in the back, and it was obviously not a long-term repair. That one was for the next guy, which is unfortunately us. Good news is this is a pretty straight shot. Okay, so here's where we're at with the great brake fight. This line is new. This one that goes to the rear, we learned that someone actually converted this to a compression style fitting, which we don't love. So I got a new T, and what we're going to do now is take this new line off, try to take this old line off, and replace this with a T so we can get rid of any compression fittings. And then we'll build the line that runs all the way back to the rear axle. This one should be easy, right? We just put it in. It's the one in front I'm a little nervous about. So I've been laying under here for a few minutes, contemplating my life choices, and I think I have a plan. I think we could say with some degree of certainty that all of these old hard lines are junk. They're all going to blow. Instead of fighting them, trying to get them off, I think what I'm going to do is just remake everything with new T's, new line, but leave the old stuff in place so I don't have to fight the fittings. I mean, maybe I'll cut it out or something, but I'm not gonna worry about unscrewing old rusty fittings anymore, because like we're not saving them. What's the point? I don't know if I have enough line, but I'm gonna take some measurements. I'm gonna put a T here. There'll be a T at the right front wheel, and then that's it. And I mean, it's really not that much line. And I think it's just gonna be better than trying to save this, chasing leaks, knowing we're probably gonna have to do it all anyway. Plus, with the single pot, if we do like drive this on the road, jam on the brakes, one of those blows, no brakes. Parking brake doesn't work, it's frozen. Yeah, we could jam it into the old granny low and engine brake it down, but I don't want to be in that situation. So I think what we're going to do, I just got dripped on, is build all brand new stuff. So I got this one done. I built a long stick that's going to go back to the back right here. Sorry, you probably can't see nothing. Right up here is the first T. It's what tees out of the booster to head to the rear axle and to head up front. Then up a little ways, there's another T which is going to break off to the right front wheel and continue on to the left front wheel. I'm going to try to build most of this on the bench and then bring it out here. So what I want to do now is take a measurement from this T, which I think I can get my fat head up here and see the other one. At least get close, right? 2 feet. That'll be close enough. All right, so what we're going to do is we go back inside. We're going to put this T together with my long line sticking out the back and 2 feet to another T up front, and then we'll be able to connect all the dots after that, hopefully. Okay, so here's kind of what I'm thinking. That's our first T. That line goes back to the rear axle. Here's our second T. Between these two needs to be 2 feet. Then out of this, we'll go to the right front. Out of this, we'll loop around, go to the left front. Now I do have new brake hoses, wheel cylinders showing up, I think tomorrow. So we're not going to be able to hook any of this up today, but it'd be nice to get all the hard line in place. That way it's just hooking up, filling with fluid, trying to bleed it. And with all brand new line, I would like to think that's not going to be the hardest thing in the world, but so far this brake project has been full of surprises. So I'm going to stretch out some line and cut it, flare it. We'll go back out there and test fit, probably cut some of the old line out. Okay, there we go. There's a 2 foot piece. It is going to go in here like that, and then out to the wheel, over to the other wheel. This is in from the booster. Back underneath, we have committed ourselves to run an all new line, which means we are no longer unbolting, we are cutting. That T will stay there because it's attached with like a 1/2 inch bolt. I have no idea why. That line's free. We need to try to get up front a little bit. Maybe I just bend this out of the way. Okay. See how easy that is? Ugh. Rust in them. So up here somewhere, gross, there's another T. Yeah, right there. And that goes out to the hose. Just so hard to get in here. That's what I'm most nervous about. Oh, this seems to be working. Okay. And now we got one left, which goes around the front. Now, I just want to warn you that our routing is not going to be factory spec. Okay, so this here is the other brake line that loops around off of this T to the front. I wonder if I shouldn't just snip that right there. It's got some clips that run down kind of under the core support. There's one end. Okay. Okay, where's the other end of this? Tetanus factory. What? Don't put a hole in your radiator. Got it. We're going to start stringing some line. This is the long one that goes back to the rear axle. Something like that. It ties into this. Something like that. And then this short one goes up here, passes through this little hole in the frame, like that. So I need to tighten all these connections and then somehow kind of make a... I'd like this to be up there. Grab some wrenches and just start, huh? Okay. This has to go in here. I could put a little tweak in it. Okay. And then let's try to, oh yeah, that's fine, I think. We'll probably run some zip ties on this later, but for now, actually pull this back out. Try to get this one attached. Pull this back a little bit. God, I just cleaned that and I dropped her right back in the goop. Remember when I said I was going to get line wrenches? I didn't. Okay. That's perfect. That fits somewhat. That's up there. This junction is complete. That one's just open to air back there, which I don't care. That's fine. We're going to keep working on wrapping our way around the front. I don't have my brake hoses yet, so I can't actually connect any lines. That's all right. What I think we might do, if we get this all plumbed, we'll put a little fluid in the master and try to fill the line. I'm going to try to get this brake hose off of this bracket so we have a hole to shoot at for our new line that's got to come through this hole in the frame. There we go. Cool. So what I need to do is make a short line that's got like a 180 loop in it that shoots through this hole because it'll connect to our new brake hose. Something like that. And then I need to make the hose that goes around the front. You see the tip of that screwdriver right under this fuel line? That's the hole I need to shoot out of the top of that T fitting. I think we're going to do that last. And what we're going to do now is come out of the front here and loop around to the other brake hose on the driver's side. We know we're going to need a bend in this. Something like that. We're also going to need a bend over here. What's the most direct route? I could just come under the engine. Remember, we're shooting for brakes, not trying to win the Riddler. Let me look and see if there's a straighter shot. Let me show you what I'm thinking. All right, we're underneath. The fitting's up here. I'm thinking, what if I come straight out through the front of this frame horn, over, back into the frame, and there. It's basically the same route. It's just easier to get to. Basically, we're just making a horseshoe shape. We got to get it at least close in length. Okay. Zoink. Just like that. One of these is a little longer. That's going to be the driver's side. All right, let's flare this up.